What's up, guys, and welcome to another Let's Talk. So today I've got Anthony with me, as usual, and also Liam is back as special guest this week. Do you want to say hi, guys?
Hey,
Hey, hey.
Hi, Liam. You've had your dinner and everything,
Yeah, no chicken for me today.
yeah? Right, yeah. So we've got a few things to talk about this week. Just some information from Bandai, and also just a quick discussion about slow play, because that's kind of been going off in the community. But getting down to news first, SS3 has been permabanned or temporarily, indefinitely banned. So this is the announcement from Bandai. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good move?
yeah, it had to stay banned. It literally would have made Gogeta, the new Gogeta card, insane.
Yeah. Um, but I guess they should just start a ban list now, right?
Maybe, but there aren't that many bad
No,
working cards in the game.
you can't make a ban list because it's only temporarily permanently banned.
Indefinitely. I mean that's what ban lists are, right?
Yeah, well, Stratos banned for like 8 years before it came back.
Yeah. If
I
if
think
if this game lasts 8 years.
I think my favorite thing that came out of this whole situation afterwards was, I don't know if any of you came across it, but on the Reddit for Dragon Ball, someone did a picture and it was like, if you still want to play with SS3, and it was a picture of like a children's playpen, but all the faces has been filled with SS3.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
made me
A lot
laugh.
of memes came out that day. I don't know why people really miss SS3. I guess, but
Yeah, they miss winning for free.
yeah, yeah, I guess so. But it was interesting to sort of see Bandai's thought process through this. So when they limited Flute and took SS3 off the watch list, they were like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be fine." And then they come back with, "Oh no, guys, we made a mistake. We didn't foresee SS3 being so dominant." Um, and then now they've said, "Oh, because we banned SS3, um, there are a lot of leaders going around now, so let's keep SS3 banned."
I just think their thought process makes a lot of sense.
No, yeah, I mean, it makes logical sense, but it also shows a lack of foresight.
I don't think so. Like, I think Flute honestly was the problem. Like, even though people were playing SS3 decks, most of the decks were Hooligan Trunks Flute. There was a point where I could game people turn 2 with Trunks
Yep.
because I had 4 Flute in my deck, and it was just insane. And I could beat any SS3 deck. You just wouldn't have enough time unless you charge 2 yellows and pass to me your first turn. So I can see why they went, oh, Flute's definitely the problem here.
Yeah, I think the issue was taking SS3 off the watch list at the same time.
Yeah, I think maybe they should have kept on a watch list, but clearly they were still watching it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, clearly.
like what was it, a month or two? Maybe 2 months at most. And
Yeah.
then it got banned permanently
Yep.
or
Yep.
indefinitely. Temporarily indefinitely.
Yeah. Well, but yeah. Originally it was banned until Set 5 was released, but now it's just.
I can see their thought process because a lot of the first cards they spoiled were cards that interacted with SS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then there was like, oh, we'll temporarily ban it. And then when Set 5 comes out, people can slaughter it by using these cards. But then they looked at to the crops and realized that everything was growing really nicely and was really, really varied. And everyone was having fun because the top eight of both of like big events we've done post ban have all been like, I think there've been like 7 out of 8 decks have all been different.
Yeah.
Whereas before the ban, like 50% of every event we ever did, regardless of what the top was, would all be something something SS3 dot deck.
Yeah.
And with the cards that have been arrived, we had about this card and Flute. I had last week someone turn up to play Dragon Ball for the very first time. They'd never
Oh,
played the game before. They purchased some packs, turned up, and was like, "Oh, hello, can I play can I play this game with you?" And I was like, "Sure, sure." Then I looked at his deck. We sat down. We played. His leader, SS3. If you're a new person, you've never played the game before with other people, and the first leader that you look at and go, "This is a good leader. I'll try playing this. I've no idea what the game is, but I'll try this leader." And then you're playing SS3. The meme continued because he also had 4 flutes in the deck. And I was like, 4 flutes? Why 4 flutes, sir? And he was like, "It's really good. I get to bounce cards back to my hand and draw a card and play them again." I was like, don't need game testers when you're around. So this guy who had no idea about the meta, no idea about how to really play the game, turned up with SS3 and 4 flutes.
nice.
To be fair, like all you need to do is look at the card and you can immediately see it's broken. I remember back in the day, God, making it seem like it's years ago, people saying that that card was shit. Oh God.
But yeah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. Not much else to say about this. SS3 is banned, and no more training wheels for you guys. So we will move on to So these are the spoiled SPRs from set 5. Anthony, you really like these, don't you?
I like some of like I just like the fact that SPR in every box and they're all really nice. None of them are like horrible.
Yeah, they are not actually looking at them all together now. They do seem nicer. I wasn't too keen on them at the beginning. I liked the the little gold outline that they have, but I didn't feel it was necessary to have the full color character with the outline. I thought it might look a bit nicer if it was just like an outline.
No, I think the full color characters cool. I think some of them could have been a little smaller on the picture to show the like kind of silhouette version of them in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I like them.
The
and I love the fact that Gotenks just has his little
yeah, the
kamikaze ghost
kamikazes.
behind
Yeah,
him. And I think that's probably the best looking one.
yeah. I agree. I think that's the best looking one. So,
Sadly, it won't be played as a 4-off in my deck.
no.
Not yet, anyway. 100 token spam, and then I'll play this. Future proof.
I mean, yeah. I mean, your battle area is unlimited, so you could potentially have 100.
I really like the Shenron.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shenron's pretty too.
No, I just mean the card. My favorite one for actual foiling though is the Masayan. I don't know why, but I
okay.
really like the gold, like how the gold silhouettes behind him on the right.
The free, the freeze is really nice too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Frieza, that one doesn't
Six
have
Wings
the
Golden Frieza.
purple chest plate though.
Is that I did see someone saying that, but is that an actual like error in the card design?
I have no idea. It
Does Frieza have
be.
a purple chest plate?
I think in the SR it does apparently. So
To be fair, I haven't looked at Golden Frieza. And I'm like, oh yeah, oh of course, yeah. No, that's really weird.
yeah.
Nothing. Just never paid attention to what Golden Frieza looked like.
But I mean that's quite a big error. I mean you expect like language errors from Bandai, but if that is an error, then it is pretty
Maybe
big
it's
one.
just a design because it makes it look better. I don't know. It has
Possibly.
other purple on it. Oh, that's really weird now.
Yeah.
Thanks for ruining this card for me.
Don't thank me. Thank Bandai.
Thank me. Thank
Well,
Bandai.
Yeah.
Bandai sent me 4 demo decks for free today, so
All right, yeah, we got a demo decks today as well. So set 5 demo
I
decks.
haven't got any demo decks. Why has everyone got them other than me?
Did you not
order
apply
them?
for them?
I did.
Well, we all got ours at the same time, but we all live in the same area.
Yeah, that
No,
could be
but there
why.
was a guy who also lives in Nottingham who got his. I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
You've been annoying Bandai too much with your posts on their American their American events.
Oh, how do you know about this?
Oh, yeah,
You know everything.
I saw your post.
What? I want some posters.
Yeah. It would be a good promotion actually, just to get posters to stores, because we ran a demo event this weekend, and the store just didn't have enough posters. We didn't have any posters, so we ended up putting out winner mats out. So
You didn't have posters.
yeah, no, because the tournament kits are supposed to have posters in them, and
Yeah.
they didn't for some
You're
reason.
oh man, if you would have said every single one I've been opening for the past like month and a half, they've got posters in it. Each one's came with like 4 posters in it.
Oh well.
That must be some weird distribution error. Maybe you meant to get 1 with posters and 3 without, and I've just ended up getting all of mine with posters.
Could be. But
Who knows?
yeah. So those are the SPRs for set 5. Just a little segue into the giveaway. So if you know, you know. So what I want you to do is comment your favorite looking card in DBS. So yeah, that's what you need to do. If you don't know where to comment, then you can't enter. So yeah, so that's that. We will go on to our main topic, which is probably going to be in the title, so you're going to know we're going to talk about this. Slow play. So if you don't know, the background is Dusty O'Brien brought out a Meta Mondays video where he was talking about whether you should be playing for a draw, and there was some concerns raised about his video, the content of it, and what he was promoting or what he may have inadvertently promoted. And that's kind of been going on. There's been a lot of comments in the Facebook group. There's been a couple of videos. There's been Patreon posts. But yeah, what do you guys think about slow play or playing for a draw?
You can go first.
Well, I think to some extent, playing for a draw, it does happen. There will be moments where you're playing your game, you're like, I'm not winning, I gotta play for a draw. And that happens a lot in Pokemon, which I also play, where you'll just be like, there's no way of me winning this game. I've got to let it draw, which is a case of make sure your opponent never knocks out any of your Pokemon. In this game, though, I think promoting playing for a draw is more promoting stalling. And that's what I found the video kind of lent towards, was promoting stalling, which isn't playing for the draw.
Okay.
So,
I mean, would you
don't-
say like say for example you had a handful of free blockers and you just puke them all out on the board? Would you say that's not good? Because I mean, obviously you just don't want to die, but
no, but like,
you're not necessarily taking a lot of time to make your actions.
but that's the point. Like, stalling would be taking a lot of time to make your actions, but also at the same time playing in a way where you're extending the game state. So things like, I know I can do damage to my opponent, and he's probably just gonna take these hits to his leader, but instead I'm gonna make sure I clear his board constantly every single turn. That's a viable strategy, but then there's just times when you're just like, no, that's just not optimal. It's doing unoptimal plays to draw out the time. That's why it's really weird to accuse someone of like stalling,
Yeah.
or to accuse someone of playing for the draw. And it's super temperamental. It's not something that should be talked about with Dragon Ball, but these people wanted to talk about it. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, obviously slow play itself, so taking extra long to make your actions, that's against the rules. But are you playing defensively, playing so that you don't lose? Because I mean, if you won game one and game two you know is going to go into time, and you want to stall out the match, then I don't know. Liam, what do you think? Do you think there's something wrong with that?
Um, as a rule, yes. I do not think you should do it. There may be the odd circumstance where maybe playing for the draw is the correct play, but I wouldn't. I'd have to be there in the moment to know it is 100% the right thing to do. Playing three blockers, if that's the circumstances of what you're doing, that is fine. But if that is what is happening against me, I probably won the game.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like, is that not like my not Barigmo? What's the Catman called? Someone help me. The god.
Beerus.
Beerus, that's the one. My Beerus deck, it's very slow because I'm trying to get to 11 mana and get multiple turns.
Yeah.
But I'm not slow playing when I do it. It's just that I need to get the turns.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
is different to like going for the draw. Like, I'm not intentionally going for a draw. The style of deck that I play with that, if it is a best of three, I'll probably say I intend on winning game one.
Sure.
If I lose game one, I don't really know what I'm going to do game two and three because it takes too long to actually function.
I mean, like, so let's say you're not playing Beerus. So you're playing a regular deck, a mid-range deck. You win game one, but it takes 40 minutes. So you've got like 10 minutes left, 10, 15 minutes left of the round. Do you side in your negates?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
you just
But at
you
this
just
point,
don't
you're
want to
talking.
lose your next game, right?
At this point, you're talking about something different, though. You're not talking about playing for the draw. You're talking about using the timer to your advantage, which is a fundamental competitive card gaming.
Yeah. Well,
If
I mean,
if you
you're still
do,
playing for a draw in that game, or
well, no,
you're not
because
necessarily looking to win that game. You just
no,
want to not lose it.
well, that's the point. You're not playing for a draw. You're playing so your opponent doesn't win. At that point, you've already won the game. If you look at the clock and go, "Hey, we're never going to conclude a game in 10 minutes," so I'm not ever going to give my opponent a chance to conclude that game in 10 minutes. I'm going to start guarding on higher life. Opponent can't just double crit me to death.
Yeah.
But that's not playing for. That's not the same as playing for a draw. That's just fundamentally being competent at card games. Playing for the draw, which these guys were talking about, was more you're in a moment of like you're both in game one or you're both in game three. Sorry, you're both in you're in game one or you're in game three, and you know you're gonna lose. So now you start trying to play for a draw.
Okay. Is there anything wrong with that then?
That is, yeah, that's the fundamental. That's where it gets a little ambiguous on what you're
Like
doing.
when you know that you're not gonna win, okay, then wouldn't it be just logical and good card game playing to just play for a draw because you're not losing?
Of course, yeah, it is. This is the problem. It gets to that weird part. Is sharking your opponent and calling them out on things they've done wrong incorrect? No. Like a good example of this is I've been to loads of YCSs and I've had moments where my opponents have forgot to side out against me. Now, if you call over a judge, they'll get a game loss.
Yeah.
But also, if I allow them to or side out, I don't know if they're siding in cards that would count on my deck or what they're doing at all. So it can be a little temperamental. Do you call a judge? Do you not call a judge? Would they call a judge on you? It's weird to argue about playing for a draw because you don't know if someone's just someone. It might their deck might just be a stall deck. To be fair, like again, you might be playing Beerish. You want to get to what's we 10, 12. I
12,
forget how
yeah.
much.
I think it's 12.
Yeah. So you want to get to 12 to play Whis. So you're stalling out the game to play Whis. But that's your win con, you know? Or like wanting to play Exodia or stuff like that. You stall out the game for that stuff.
Yeah, no,
At
I
the same
understand it in Beerus. I mean, Beerus's win con is that you have to kind of stall to get to your win con. So
Yeah, but you could argue that with any deck, you know. I could play Pan and stall out the game constantly until I have a board full of dudes, then play Fearless Pan, and you just can never survive the amount of double strikes I throw at you.
yeah, but I
But
mean, like again, okay. So let's say you win game one,
mm,
and then you you in game two again. I'm just talking about what I perceive as what slow play. What can be slow play. Um, so game two, say you took about half the time, and game two you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna either play for this to be a draw, or to just not lose basically. And so you side in all your blockers, you side in all your negates, all your defensive cards, and you're just stalling the opponent out. And you know you're not going to win it. But like for example, if you're playing Ginyu Veggies now,
mm.
you blitz the game one because you have a very strong game one. You know your opponent's going to side in the Cronoas. So at this point, would it be bad of you to side in all your defensive cards to make sure you don't lose so you win the match?
No, see, that's the problem. Like that's the thing. It's super temperamental to argue on this subject.
It is a bit weird. Like I struggle. I would say it's weird. I would say, as a rule, it's wrong. But trying to convince people that you shouldn't do it is difficult. My
I mean,
gut feeling would be like what the subject itself sounds taboo, as in it's really difficult to actually say why it's wrong.
like I mean,
But there
I
is
understand that playing the game, you should want to win the game, right? So I kind of understand it. It's kind of going against the spirit of the game or against the spirit of competition and sportsmanship. But when you get to a certain competitive level, I
because
guess.
playing instead of playing for the draw, there's also like when you're playing as best of three, winning anything past game one is like playing the second game for a draw because you're denying the opponent the opportunity to win. So let's say there's a situation where I've got 12 cards in hand, you've got like 3 cards in hand because I was playing sell and I sold you. You were then on 1 life. This is a very situational thing, but it's more about what is happening in the game. So instead of me attacking you, knowing I can kill you because I've got 12 cards in hand, what if I just sat there and go, okay, your turn? And then they play, they don't really achieve a lot, goes back to your turn, you kill their thing. And then this goes on for about 20 minutes. They've got about 6 cards in hand. You've now got like 17 because all you do is just say draw go. And then there's like 5 turns in the round, and then you're like, oh, kill you. Then you kill them, and then you go to game two, and then you just like, there's no time left.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
That actually, that's kind of what Dusty was
slow
talking
play.
about. Actually, he brought up an example from Magic the Gathering. I don't remember what it was. Something about he plays one
On,
card and then he plays
yeah,
another
yeah,
card
yeah.
which basically locks out your opponent's attacks.
Yeah. There's a variety of deck that I played for about 6 months years ago where it does the same sort of thing. Like I have, like in Magic, you start on 20. In this, you start on 8. The combo I did was I don't kill. I have 0 ways in my 60-card Magic deck back then to actually physically deal damage to you. I can't kill you. There's no way for me to actually win the game apart from one, which is you milling yourself out. My plan back then, which I won a whole event, I went like 7-0. My plan was to let them kill themselves with their own draw step. So I let them draw 50 I let them draw 53 cards by them drawing a card on their draw step, and that is how I won the game.
Okay.
And when they've got no cards left, then the same as in Thingy, you've got no cards, you lose the game. But I had no way to physically do that to them. I had one card in my deck that was called the Elixir of Immortality, and all it did was reshuffle my graveyard back into my deck. So then I've got 60 cards back in my deck. You're slowly drawing yourself out. And I used to get complaints all the time when I played this because people would be like, "This, you can't do this. You're playing a deck with no way to win." I literally have no way at all.
Yep.
And then people complained about it. And I can see why people would complain if you was playing that, is it Barigmo, where you've got two of them out and then they can't attack you and they both have hexproof.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, if you sit there, you've got that down and the opponent can't win, and you're like, I'm going to draw a card, say go, I'm going to go to the toilet for 10 minutes, you just keep taking your turn, but you can't kill me. And then after you come back, you're like, oh, we've got 3 minutes left on the round. I will swing at you now, good sir.
But I would argue that the fundamentals of a best of three game would be to acknowledge that your opponent has put you in a position where you now can't win, so you take the L.
Yeah, definitely. The 100% correct thing to do as a player, logically, is to take the loss. But there are people who don't understand that. They will do their utmost to try and win, even though realistically, you're looking at probably like a 3 to 5% margin that you can somehow win the game due to error.
I mean, so in that example, are we kind of saying that it's acceptable for someone to do this, to use this strategy, if you can call it a strategy? Whereas with your cell example, it's not acceptable for the player to do that.
Sorry.
I would say it's not acceptable to do the cell situation, and logically in Magic, if you've got an unlimited combo, so like something that goes on forever, if you can demonstrate why it goes on forever, then the opponent can go, okay, you've demonstrated the combo, the game ends.
It's the same in Yu-Gi-Oh as well. If you can make a no net change loop combo and you can demonstrate it to a judge, you can instantly take a win and force your opponent to scoop.
Yeah, so logically, if it's a situation where there is no percentage for you to win, the game should just end.
Yeah.
Okay.
It shouldn't continue, and you shouldn't be able to keep the game going for as long as what you want.
I don't think,
and that nothing like that exists in Dragon Ball at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, so I think the sort of parallel Dusty tried to draw Dragon Ball was having two Bagamos on the board, and then
which was incorrect. That was one of the problems that the other guy had, was he was making parallels when there aren't any.
Yeah.
I was reading through the article, and another thing that they brought up was like the apes. Like, stalling out with apes, is that acceptable? Well, yeah, that's kind of what they do, right?
Yes, that's the whole point of apes. You
barrier
you
blockers
block.
That you can never really get rid of.
You swing, you untap, you block.
And they all get free combos, because not that anyone's playing King Vegeta anymore, but they all get free combos because of the King Vegeta. So you always can out combo your opponent pretty much.
Yeah, I played against someone playing that exact deck back a while ago when it was a deck that was played. And man, it was horrible, because you sat there for turns and you was like, well, I can't swing in because everything's got blocker, and he's not swinging at me even though he can kill me. And then he'd sit there for about 5 turns until he's got like a critical mass of super combos that he can just do for free and then kill me.
But that's what the deck did. It was its win condition was you could never do damage to it, and to kill its apes you had to use so much advantage to kill one ape, and then replace them with March next turn.
Yeah.
It was
which is one of the reasons why Chain Zeno spiked in popularity, because they spent that long setting it up that they'd just Zeno you. You've because back then the Apes deck was that when it was the original version of Mecha Freezer?
Yes, yeah, Mecha Freezer was around.
Yeah.
Because then Mecha Freezer used all of their early turns on getting out the March of the Great Apes, and then when you Zeno chain them, they had no march left and like 3 mana or 4 mana, and they could only actually play one thing instead of 3 or 4 things, and that's how they died. But that deck was acceptable because it did win. But do you know, if someone sat there, if we was playing a best of 3 and someone sat there for about 35 minutes gaining advantage, at that point I'd go, now you're slow playing. The setup, the way the deck worked was by locking you out in terms of you had that many blockers, and then you'd build up card advantage, and then you'd kill them. It was all like setup, preparation, execute.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the setup and the preparation, but you're just blank refusing to execute them, then it's an issue.
But you could argue that the reason they're not executing it is because they're afraid that you might be able to counter it at this point. So they want to build up slightly more. And then it
slightly
gets
more, and slightly more.
It gets that whole point of when do they stop? Oh, I have 10 cards in my hand, but they're all super combos and pseudo super combos. My opponent has 9 cards in their hand. They're probably not as many super combos as me, but he might have a negate. So
I think in that situation it's fine. I mean, if you have that many cards in hand and you've cell chained them, for example, then.
But then we're getting to this point of it changes depending on, what's happening in the game
where do
state.
you draw the line? I mean,
Yeah.
It comes down to interpretation, but I mean, personally, I don't think it's good to do that, but I wouldn't call it slow play. Personally, I think, if I can, if I'm not actually stalling the game with my actions, I'm stalling the game with my inaction, but I'm not slowing down your play. I'm not slowing down my turn intentionally. I'm slowing down the game. I'm not killing you. And, if you're not going to scoop and you want to hold on to the slither of hope that you might beat me, then that's down to you, right? Which, I understand it's not nice. It's not nice, I get that. But is there something categorically wrong with it?
See, again, it's just temperamental.
This is what I mean. It's a weird situation. I still personally, if you're doing that and it's your like, I'm trying to think of a way to actually explain. If you're imperative, I don't know. Like, if your decision, if you wake up in the morning and go, "This is how I want to play the game," then you are a bad player. I can't tell you why, but you are. And if you look at yourself in the mirror, you think it too.
But it's fine, I'll be looking at myself in the mirror with all my certificates, which are signed by the TOs, saying I'm champion.
See, that was
not well enough to laugh.
No, it's not because you're not well enough to laugh. I mean, because you sat there and for a millisecond you thought, I'm going to try this. Then your brain was like, you choked that out of you, sir.
No, I can't win the tournament for the life of me. It's got bad. Pan's not winning me anything these days.
It's not even winning you locals.
No. It's fine, I'm playing Hero for next locals.
Okay, so okay, I think it's we have concluded that we cannot draw a conclusion, I guess. But just don't be annoying about it, I guess, guys. The take-home message is, if you think you're being, if you think you're being a bit of a dick, then you probably are. Fair?
Like that. That's a good Blue Peter message.
Yeah. I mean, it's very subjective, and it's you kind of have to take it by case. So.
The case by case being, if you look in the mirror and you feel sad, it's because you're going for the draw.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's that. I don't think we're going to get any further with this. So thank you guys for staying with us for this. It's pretty short compared to the usual Let's Talks.
Hey,
Not
we're
too
gonna
much
talk
going
about
on
that.
this week. So
We're gonna talk about Marseille.
we talk about Marseille. Oh, you mean the promo from the box?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've forgotten to see the graphic for that, but we can talk about that. So let me just bring this up.
I'll copy and paste it to you in Discord.
Thank you. So I mean, I looked at this. It was the you get to warp a life, right?
Yeah. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to the warp. So it does that originally. And Sparking 7 when it attacks. If your leader is black, you can choose 2 cards in your life and send them to your warp. And then warp one of your opponents.
Yeah. So it's a kill card.
Is it not just a worse version of Increasing Evil? No, Increasing Evil can only warp 5 or less. So
You get to warp life with this though.
okay, by taking 2 of yours.
Yeah, and I mean, with a black leader, you're unlikely to have.
Oh
You
god,
don't.
do you have to have a black leader for that? Oh
Yeah,
god,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I just read it and
You need to be on 3, and your opponent needs to be on 1 for this to be really good, I guess.
well, you could be on 3, your opponent could be on 2, and then you could use Devastate on.
Or
Yeah.
you could just do this if your opponent was on 3 and you were on 3. You do this, and then you play that MCU Gohan, and then yeah,
No, what you mean is Yamcha 100%, right?
yeah.
Is there any
You
black
play the
Saiyan? Oh my god, there is. No,
lightning
he's not.
fast hit.
You need to be. Okay, we're going crazy now. Okay.
Oh, don't talk about lightning fast hit.
I have
Like
six.
if you watch like that London Players Guild when I was in the top 8, I on the stream in game 2 where I was losing, my opponent was on 3 life. I had lightning fast hit in my hand, and I attacked with like 7 things, trying to get him down to 2, and he weren't having it. He could smell it, and I was there just in my hand, just shaking it, like, "Come on, man!" And then as soon as I like attacked with my last thing, I just tapped 5, played lightning fast hit. I was like, "Good game, sir. You were on 1," and that was the end. Bloody lightning fast hit. But I don't get this card. I don't get it. It doesn't seem good enough for what it does.
No, it doesn't. Especially for a forecast as well. Like at least the other one.
Oh yeah, it's
Like-
not even Overwhelm, is it?
Nah, Devastator costs 3, and he's really powerful. Like your opponent just takes the damage, whatever happens.
Yeah.
This guy just feel like it's just,
Well, I guess it's a free card, so
Also, why did they do 2 pictures of this card with one just being slightly bigger?
yeah, yeah, that was weird. Um, is it going to be in foil?
I believe it's going to be
Yeah.
SR foiling.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not a
Oh,
fan of the I'm not a fan of the World Martial Arts Tournament foiling or the Set 5 foiling actually.
Well, this guy will be pretty when I have 12 of them in my bag. So
Sure.
You can have 12 of them. You're opening lots of boxes.
buy the case.
Oh lord.
Someone's got money.
No,
Money,
I haven't-
money, money.
That's the problem. I haven't got any money.
guess that's the take home message, right? It's okay if you don't have any money, just buy a case.
You can sell all of his Black Mass Saiyans.
Yeah. Just
Take your money
have a
back.
page of pretty cards. You
Nah,
don't need
so that-
food.
So it's dash packs that are going to make me the money.
24
Okay.
dash packs. You watch it though, because you'll open it and you'll get 24 Jibamba or whatever it's called.
That'd be good. What?
Why would
better
it be
than-
good?
It's better than one star Dragon Ball.
Man, I want that 1-star Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I want 8. I want 8. Well, God, there's not even 8 Dragon Balls. Shit,
You-
broke the world.
You
I want.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we'll end it here. There's nothing else to discuss now, right? That was the last thing.
No.
Yes. So we will end it here. Thank you guys for staying with us. It's been a bit
Chaotic.
this has been a bit all over the place. So but thank you guys for that. Remember the giveaway. If you know, you know. So yep. See you guys next time. Please like if you liked this podcast, and remember to sub for more content. And that's bye from me, and it's bye from Anthony,
Bye.
and it's bye from Liam.
Bye bye.
It's a new thing you're doing.
Universe challenge that.